just the knowledge that it's not the world against you, I think should give you enough reason to want to continue. I've taken it as my business. Whenever I get an opportunity to engage the youth. As a young person growing in a village, or there is generally the temptation to think that the whole world revolves around you. Only later on you realize that there is so much about the world beyond what you know. So for me, engagement with the youth, empowerment for the youth is a very personal thing. Public service is interesting because it means different things to different people. Before I joined public service, there's always and working in the private sector, there's always the imagination that nothing happens in the public service. People are just lazing around, people just sit. Now, I joined public service, it's been more than 6 years. And in my current role, trust me, I spend the least amount of time with myself compared to when I was in the private sector. When I think about public service and also the impact it has on people's lives, most of the times people see what is happening or what has been done. Today we talk about universal health care with more than 30 million Kenyans registered. When it began, it was like, this is not possible, and a lot of resistance, a lot of pushback. Today we are talking of good examples, good experiences, families that would have otherwise lost their kin, who can now give testimony or who are able to celebrate. Now, it took a public servant to be very intentional, to be very deliberate, to think about it, to plan, and to insist even when everybody else is saying, let's forget about this. Same story with housing and many other things. For me, I look at it as an opportunity to make a difference. In most cases, what is very invisible that people never see, occasionally people get to see and appreciate. But at the end of the day, it's a question of have you left or made an impact that you can go home and sit and say that while I was in this space, I can confidently say that I made my difference. The world today is struggling to deal with mental issues. Maybe it's because probably our civilization has not made us to really adapt well. The society has also become too individualistic, and over time everybody wants to imagine that they can address their issues without speaking to the next person. And I think it's important that we pay a lot of attention to mental well-being of people, particularly in the public service. At a personal level, of course, there are several ways. One, of course, is a network of people around me, family, friends. I've actually adjusted my diet. Yes, so my food is a bit different than it was 1 year ago, just to try and eat healthy. I do quite a bit of exercise, as and when I get time. I'm being deliberate to create time to just keep fit. There are definitely a lot of other things that I do that help manage the pressure on the environment I work in. I'm involved in a lot of community activities. So I work with the youth, I work with the widows, I work with women, I work with young leaders. Of course, I grew up in a bit difficult environment, quite a lot of struggle, which I know is the situation with a number of families. So occasionally, I would sit down with someone and you're explaining, telling them your story. And then when they tell you their story, then you realize you're good. So my point is, yes, you are struggling with an issue, you're struggling with a situation, but it's important to appreciate that there are people either with similar struggles or with worse situations they're dealing with, but they're still able to keep going. So just the knowledge that it's not the world against you, I think should give you enough reason to want to continue. Also, before you succeed, there will be so many failures. Yeah, and I would want to advise anyone who is struggling with that situation to look at it as being prepared for something better, and never give up.